not too shabby. Hey, friends, Revolutionaries! Back with a new set, a new chair. No new opening. Why don't you do the new opening and go with the new set? But, nah. New set, new chair. The set looks great. It's been a while that I really wanted to change it. The foam core and the cardboard background, it was fine, but I really figured it was time for a change. And I couldn't be happier with the way this turned out. This is an awesome new set. And, I mean, you can't see what's happening behind the camera, but I can tell you the new chair, oh, it's great. It is great. But I'm not back to give you a review of my new set. We're actually going to take a look at something that I've wanted for about, oh gosh, since the end of last year. And it kept getting pushed back, until finally, last month, the DC Comics DC Comics variant Play Arts Kai action figure number 5, the Batgirl. Play Arts Kai Batgirl. This will make the 3rd Play Arts Kai figures that I've gotten. The Arkham Asylum Harley, the Arkham City Catwoman, the variant Batgirl. Supergirl's on order. The variant Supergirl's on order because you've got Batgirl, got to have Supergirl to go with her. But Batgirl finally came out. She actually arrived this week, and the set just got done today. And I figured, you know what? This is a great opportunity. Let me go ahead and have some fun with it. Hopefully you guys will have fun too. I'm so glad to be back. Hope everybody's still watching. If not, I understand. But yeah, taking a look at the Play Arts Kai box. Man, the packaging on the Play Arts Kai are just nice. They get nicer and nicer. In this case, we've got this metallic kind of chrome, image of Batgirl. Her hair there, coming off the side. There's the gauntlet spikes. The Batgirl symbol coming across the side here. Got the rest of her chest. And then the cape kind of swishing over here. So really great picture of Batgirl. On the side, I have a theory on where this is. This doesn't make much sense to me until I looked at it more closely, and I'll talk about that here in a second. On the bottom, we've got the Play Arts, the Square Enix logo, I guess you should say. Yeah. Oh, now Batgirl figure 5. I believe. Well, she was released with the Flash. So Batgirl and the variant Batgirl and Flash were the 2 that were released at the same time. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Aquaman. I think those were the first. No, that can't be right. Because Batgirl's number 5. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. I think it was Green Lantern. It was either Green Lantern or Aquaman. I think it was Green Lantern. Were the first ones that came out. Aquaman and Flash, they're out as well. Batgirl and Supergirl. Batgirl being the first one. She was the first non-Justice League variant to come out. Supergirl's out now, and she's on order, so I'll be doing a review of her as soon as she comes in. But yeah, the variant series, not based on anything from the comics. This is strictly Play Arts Square Enix, the designers, coming up with their own versions of the characters. And when you look at the back, I mentioned that so that when you look at the back, you can see here's the image of Batgirl that their image of Batgirl. This is their envisionment of Batgirl. Is that a word? Envisionment? Probably not. But there she is. Not quite sure what's going on with the Batarang, but there you go. And there off in the corner, off in the shadows, I believe is Flash. I believe that is the Flash, because he and her were the two that came out together. And I said, postpone, postpone, postpone. I think Batgirl was due out back in December. I think she was pushed out to February. And then ultimately she finally came out in April. And I just got mine yesterday. So that's very cool. There's the Play Arts Kai title again. A lot of things in a foreign language that I can't quite read, but that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't distract from what's inside, which when you open the front cover, there's Batgirl. If you can't see her real well, don't worry. We'll get a better look. There she is. She's got her daggers, her batarangs, 3 extra hands, and then there's this kind of cloudy, smoky bat symbol kind of obscuring the mystery accessories, maybe, I guess. Got the mystery accessories behind the bat logo. I do like this symbol for Batgirl's bat emblem. It's clearly a bat symbol, but it's uniquely hers. You know, I like that. I like that Batgirl would get her own type of bat symbol. Now this is the variant, so I don't know if that's really what the case is, but I like the idea. I like the idea. Here we've got a beautiful illustration, almost like an ink illustration of Batgirl. Looks fantastic. Looks a kind of got her bottom out a bit, but you know. But I love it. She's got this huge cape going on here. Very fluid, very dynamic. I believe that's what this is too. I think this side is carrying over the image here. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but when I saw this, I didn't know what it went to. And then when I opened up and I saw this picture, I figured, oh, this is probably connected to this. Maybe. I don't know. But it looks great. It's got this inky, almost maybe like watercolor kind of effect. It's beautiful. This is a beautiful illustration. And of course, here we got the Play Arts title, the variant Play Arts title. It looks very Final Fantasy to me. It looks very Square Enix. It's cool. I like it. On the write-up, and boy, we're taking a while on this. It says, from the Play Arts Collective of Artisans, the definitive edition of action figures, Beauty in a Box. I don't know if they're talking about Batgirl specifically, but the Beauty in a Box. A dream team of designers, sculptors, engineers have poured their hearts and souls into creating each masterpiece, truly making these creations a definitive edition of action figures. A refined intrepidness radiates from the sharp and edgy designs of these superheroes. The beauty of the sculpt starts with a deep knowledge of maximizing figures' ability to pose, so articulation. Each part of their suit is constructed in great detail, every piece of material selected with great care. Their textures are meticulously recreated to bring out as much three-dimensional realism as possible. A compilation of breathtaking craftsmanship. Yes, Harley and Catwoman really do prove that, yes, there is some fine craftsmanship that comes out of the Play Arts Kai figures. Specifically for Batgirl, it says, the Dark Knight's ravishing sidekick. This iteration of Batgirl features a lightweight but extremely sturdy power suit. It is equipped with the latest innovations that enable stealth and ninja-like agility. Following suits with Variant Series Volume 1 Batman, so I don't have the Batman, but I guess following in that design, we kept the edges of her gauntlets as well as the armor backbone plates. The backbone plates. So I don't have the Batman, but whatever backbone plates are on her, I guess we can expect to see that on the Batman. While keeping in mind the feminine sensibility of Batgirl. The feminine sensibility. Batgirl comes with a uniquely designed Kuna and Batarang, while also boasting a wide range of poseability. So, high quality design, lots of articulation, hallmarks hallmarks of the Play Arts Kai figures. Guys, we're back. We're going to go ahead, we're going to pop Batgirl out of the pack and have some fun. Stick around. Alrighty, we've got Batgirl out of her pack, and first and always, it's been a while, it might have been a while, but as always, good things. And the one good thing about this figure, about this particular figure, is that it is a huge, huge piece. She is quite substantial in size and scale. For anyone who's gotten the, or who happened to have the Play Arts Kai Catwoman, the Arkham City Catwoman, you know that she's not a tiny figure either. I mean, these are not meant to be your standard 6-inch scale, but Catwoman was a very substantial sized figure in her own right. When you stand her up next to Batgirl, come on. When you stand up next to Batgirl, you can see that scale-wise, Batgirl, again, she's huge. She's like a head and a half higher, a head and a half taller. Just scale-wise, much bigger. Being that it's from the same company, I don't know if you could pose them on the same shelf. It's obviously not from the same series, so I don't know if you could pose them together because of the difference in scale. But my gosh, that is just huge. She is gigantic. And it's not, and none of it is wasted. None of it is wasted. It is sculpted amazing. I mean, there's if you're the kind of person who likes very intricate, very minor details on a sculpt, Batgirl has it. And I can only imagine that that this is Batgirl. The Batman figure is probably even taller than that. The Batman, Superman, I mean, they're going to be even taller in scale than she is. So I can't wait to get those and see how impressive that is. It really makes, you know, shelling out the cash for her that much easier to take when you realize how much you get. Wow. But yeah, like I was saying, just like with Catwoman, when you look at her sculpt, there is a lot going on. You know, I said in the Catwoman review that I love the fact that there are all these different textures, you know, all these different pieces. You could really tell how the armor was kind of laid together, how the suit was put together. And the same kind of thing works with Batgirl. You know, you can see here on her bicep, you can kind of see where there's this almost material-like piece that's part of the bodysuit, the under part of the suit, and how there are these plates and layers, these armor pieces on top of it. It's really, really nice. One thing I wasn't ready for, one thing that really, really impressed me was in the photos that I've seen, in the promo shots I've seen, I thought she was pretty much just in black with the little hints of gold, like here at the top of her gauntlets. Obviously, of course, the belt on the side of her abdomen and the Batgirl symbol. I figured, okay, you know, there were these little hints of gold throughout. But there's also this kind of wash or dry brush of blue that you can see kind of in these, in just little spots. The shoulder pads, they're on the side of her bust, on her shorts. There are these little, you know, hints of blue that are running throughout it. So it's not, it's almost as though that the suit is not necessarily a complete black, but just a very, very dark kind of blue color. It just really hints at the fact that there's something else than just black. Obviously it's Batgirl, so they're going to get the gold and the yellow in there, like the inside of her cape. We'll take a look at that closer here in a minute. The belt, obviously, with the Batgirl symbol there. Her folded batarangs. It's just a rubbery kind of plastic. Now, it also seems to be attached to this front codpiece, if you will, that helps kind of cover up where the joints for the legs go. Not completely. It kind of reminds me of NECA's rubbery boxers on Rocky figures. You know, it's got this rubbery piece that goes around her pelvis, her lower pelvis, to help cover the articulation. I like it. It's a nice try. I do like it. On the sculpt on the face, well, let's get around one kind of big negative thing that happened. As Play Arts, as the box talked about, they really make an effort so that you can get a lot of posability out of the figure. There are joints all over this figure. And unfortunately, that included the hair. There's a pin and hinge joint that's actually at the top of the hair or at the base of the skull, whichever you want to say, that broke in its box. I pulled her out. I don't know if it was me pulling her out of the box. I don't know if it was broken while it was in the box. But the pin that goes into the back of the head had broken, and it was still in its hole. I was able to get it out, and I tried all kinds of things to replace it. It was either just too big for the peg in the head, or way too small. So I wasn't able to fix the joint. I just had to get some glue and just glue it back in place. I don't think it's going to cause any issues. I think there's enough surface so it's going to stay in place. It's a shame that I won't be able to use the joint. In some ways, I kind of wish they didn't even put it in there. You know, just because of the risk of it breaking. Yeah, I wish they wouldn't even put it in there. But you can see, it's not too bad. You know, it's sculpted so that it's away from her head, so you get the full range of movement off it. And it's nicely sculpted hair. I mean, I could have left the hair out, and it still would have looked really nice. But the hair, the deep red, the deep kind of ginger red, with the black wash over it, kind of giving it this nighttime shadowy kind of thing. It's really nice. I really love that. On the face, I like what they did with the face. For what you can see, she's got that nice warm skin color, just like Catwoman did. So they knew just how to balance out things so that it wasn't like a pale face. It's got some warmth to it. The lips are nice. The eyes are beautiful. They've got this kind of glaze over them, which gives kind of this realism that I love. I don't quite like the beak or the nose on the mask. There's one thing about Batgirl, the iconic look for Batgirl, is the fact the mask went over the bridge of her nose and didn't cover it up completely. So this kind of style mask for Batgirl, yeah, okay, you know, it might be a minor thing. It's not really my cup of tea. I would love to have had a second head that had the nose kind of exposed. It would have gone over the bridge of the nose. But that's just a personal thing. That's just a personal design thing. You may not even mind. You might like it better this way. I gotta say, it's a little thing when you take in how well it's sculpted. That just looks beautiful. I also want to mention too something that you don't see a lot on figures, but when you work with this scale, it's really kind of cool to see. And that is, you know, they actually added some functionality. And by that I mean, when you look at Batgirl's mask, when you look at her helmet, right where her ears would be, you can see where there are these slits, you know, these cuts on the side of the helmet where her ears would be, so that, you know, it's not just a solid piece that's covering up her ears. You know, you can actually see that there's some function to the fact that, yes, that's how she hears through her mask, is through these vents in the mask. That's cool. I like that kind of thing. I like that kind of attention to detail. You know, it's not necessary. They didn't have to do that. They could have just left that sculpted over, and no one probably would really have noticed. But by adding that in, adding that little functionality piece in, I really love it. I really love it. I know we're going a little long on the video, considering this making up for lost time. But the rest of the figure, again, beautiful, beautiful top. The shorts, you know, the shorts are I don't know, either you love them or you hate them, is kind of the attitude. I put me in the hate it camp. I don't really care for the shorts. I think it's kind of an arbitrary attempt just to show some extra skin, which normally I wouldn't be opposed to, but you know, this is Batgirl. You could have made the kind of painted that completely black and just put her in this nice, completely black armored bodysuit from head to toe. That would have been good. You know, hinting at it and showing it. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm not a fan of the shorts. It seems to break up the style of the costume, because the boots, the thigh-high boots, same kind of thing. You can see the gold. See this run of gold going down the inside of her leg, right next to a line of blue. The kneecap's got the blue highlights on it too. The armor on the boots. The boots are a great example of how the whole suit is put together, where you can see the different materials, the different layers, different fabrics, everything. And then finally the shoes, her feet, really nice there. The gold really stands out. Nice touch, making the feet almost completely in the gold to kind of cap off all the black. Good choice. Good choice. Now, if you've watched any of the reviews, I've watched like a couple. I think everybody who has her agrees. Batgirl, she's got very little surface area to stand on. And she's got a lot that has to be supported by that little area. The heels and then the toe. So when it comes to standing, it can be done. I don't know if the new set will do it. It can be done, but don't count on it to stay this way. I almost don't want to touch it now. That's so nice that it's standing there. But we have to. So to kind of offset that, they did include this display stand. This some assembly required display stand with all the instructions on the inside panel here. This is on the inside box liner that she came with. Now I haven't put it together. I'm not quite ready to go into all this. But yeah, they actually do include a display stand for her, which is very necessary because, as I said, there's not much there. If she's leaning against something, great. If you've got her display stand put together, great. Otherwise, expect her to fall. Expect her to fall. The articulation, we've kind of already looked into the head. The arms are on a pin and hinge. Good solid pin and hinge. There is a wing joint for the shoulders. So if you've had any of the Play Arts figures so far, you know there's this kind of wing joint on the shoulders. Twist at the bicep. There's a hinge on the elbow. A twist at the forearm. There's also a twist here about mid-forearm. There's this extra twist here. Twist on the wrist and a hinge. So a lot of range of movement with the arms and hands. Quite a bit you can kind of do there. Oh, and just taking a look at the gauntlet. Got the huge spikes coming off the gauntlet. Oh, one thing I'll say about the variant Play Art figures from the promo shots and now the Batgirl here, they're vicious. The Bat family, Batman and Batgirl, that's pretty vicious. She's got a cut right below her bust. It's more of a rocker, I guess. Got a little movement there. I don't think there's anything below that. Oh yes, there is a twist. There's a twist at the waist. The legs come up, and there's a nice clicky joint there. Up, out. There's a twist. Well, a bit of a twist on the leg, not much. It would have been nice, considering they put her in the shorts, to put a twist in the thigh. But no, there's a little bit of a twist at the top of the leg, but not much. There's a double joint at the knee. Oh, and the elbow, that's just a single joint. But a double joint at the knee. There is a twist at the foot and a hinge. And I love the clicky joints. I love those clicky joints. Her cape actually is made up of 3 pieces. There is the back piece, which covers up where the lower half plugs into. And it does also give a sense of depth to the cape. It makes it feel more 3-dimensional. It does come over, it's made of a soft plastic. Nice soft plastic, kind of the stuff you expect from Mattel or Hasbro or anyone else. It's got a nice soft kind of plastic. It plugs into her shoulders here, and it kind of just runs right into it. And you can kind of see right there above the Batgirl symbol where that plugs into. You can see how the sculpt just kind of feeds right into it. Again, nice touch, very functional kind of look. That's how the cape connects to the rest of the armor. I like it. I do like it. She comes defaulted with her just sort of static hanging cape. You know, if she was just sort of standing around, you know, doing investigations, talking, whatever, cape is just hanging. You actually can pull both halves of it out. It's made up of 2 parts, as you just saw, that have a ball and hinge joint inside there. And you can see there's the yellow, inside a painted yellow, looking really nice. When you look underneath, there is the pin and hinge joints for the cape. I don't really get why these come out quite as far as they do, because the plastic on the cape isn't all that strong. So rather than just having 2 pins coming out of her back that it plug into, they did add the hinge as well. I just don't know how much you're going to get out of it. Oh, and while we got her cape out, there's those spinal armor that they talked about that Batman has. So it's probably only when we're changing out the cape and when you're looking that you'll even notice it, but there it is. And there's a nicely sculpted bottom too. Take a look at the back of the boot. I guess supposedly, technically speaking, if you wanted to, you could keep her with the short cape. You can keep her without the cape, or with just a very short cape, like this. Maybe a little more ninja-like, you know, doesn't have the draping piece of fabric off the back. That could be pretty cool. You could, I suppose. But trust me, when you get a look at the next 2 pieces of her cape that come with it, again, you can see here's where it plugs in at. You can see it actually has kind of the, I don't know if you can see that, but up at the top there's a little, there you go. Just kind of let you know where the inside part is for each of them. But you'll see they plug in together. And you'll get her looking much more action, much more dynamic, much more you'll probably use this more in terms of poses that you'll want to do with her. Let me see here, hold on. Here we go, here we go. You know, if you wanted to, you can get kind of a zip line kind of pose going. You know, seeing her coming down the zip line. Have those spikes out, plunging down, cape billowing behind her. You know, there's just all kinds of really great things that you'll be able to do. And you get 2 forms of the cape, the motion, the sweeping motion cape, and kind of the static hanging cape along with it. So no matter what kind of pose you may want to do, yeah, your Batgirl is going to have a cape that'll help it look better. It'll make it look good. I know this is going on for a while, guys. Thanks for staying with me. There's so much to say about this figure. You know, that you could mix and match parts of this cape kind of swapping back and forth. I probably won't, I mean, I'd love to show you what that looks like, but I probably won't have time. Let's get on to her accessories. She does actually come with her open set of hands right out of the box, which are pretty nice. I mean, I like the open hands, particularly because you can see the inside of the hand. And just, unfortunately, I mean, the underside of the boot, there's no sculpting for the underside of the boot, but because they do show the inside of the hand, and you can see all the texture and everything on it, I'm going to give this one the plus, I'm going to give them a +1 bonus to the figure, because, no, it's not on the bottom of the boot, but it is on the inside of the hand. And that to me counts for something. When you get that detailed, that counts for something. But she's got her open hand. She also comes with a pointing or trigger hand, which I've heard people refer to as the batarang hand. I don't quite see it. I don't quite see that this as being a batarang hand. It really strikes me more as a gun hand. That's her trigger finger. You know, you can make it a point where she's pointing at something, or maybe pressing a button, you know, something along those lines. Seems like an odd hand out. It's like 2.5 sets of hands because you get this one hand that has the pointing finger. I don't know. I don't mind it. It would be nice if it would have had a corresponding hand to go with it. Maybe an actual closed fist. Because the closest other thing that we get are the gripping hands. The half-closed gripping hands. And of course, these are the standard kind of hand that you get with, you know, most action figures. And the peg is kind of tight. I don't know if I'm getting that on all the way. The peg is a little tight at first. Yeah, you can kind of see. After what happened with the hair, I'd be very careful with it, honestly. I don't think it's important enough to get it all the way flush. I think that's probably close enough. As you can see in the back of the hand, there's that blue highlight again. And all the great details on the sculpting. Let's pop off the other hand. Swap this one out. Pop that one back in like so. And looking at these, it really makes me wish she had actual closed fists. You know, instead of having the pointy finger hand, having an actual set of closed fist, you know, get her in kind of a fighting pose, that would be cool. You know, these are probably as close as you're going to get. It's not bad, but it really makes me wish she actually had closed hands. As with any kind of Bat character or Bat family, she's going to have a Batarang, which is a really nice gold Batgirl style. It's got a little bit of extra sculpting to it. Let's see if we can show it off without Batgirl hogging the camera. There you go. Which is actually very cool. You can kind of put this up in here. Kind of raise it above her head. So she's ready to throw. And in the other hand, she can carry her dagger, which is a monstrous thing. It's something where, I mean, it's got some nice kind of bronze wash over it, so it's not just this gold yellow. It's got some darker color over it, which is actually pretty impressive. But like the rest of the Batgirl armor, it's got this spiky, layered kind of viciousness to it that I'm not quite sure what to make of. And on top of that, this part right here even comes away from the rest of the blade to give it more spikes. You know, it is just more vicious, just to make it more mean and nasty. But you can take this, and if it's a dagger, I would hope See if I can get it to fit. Yeah. Oh, okay, maybe not. Hold on. Oh, see, now I gotta hop off my chair whenever I drop something. Let's take a look. Let's see if we can get this in our hand here. There we go. There we go. So there you have a really impressive variant Batgirl from Arts Kai. Again, there's the main Justice League, the core Justice League figures: Superman, Batman, Aquaman, Green Lantern, Flash, Batgirl, Supergirl. Well, Batgirl and Supergirl, they're out now. All the main characters from the Justice League are out. I would like to be able to get all of them in this variant series. Got Supergirl on order, so we'll be taking a look at her soon. But in the meantime, Batgirl's really, really impressive. It's a style that you may love. There are a few minor things that I would have liked to have seen changed, particularly around the mask. And, of course, with the hair. Hopefully, if you do get your own, you'll have better luck than I did. But, guys, it's great to be back. Thank you for watching. I'm going to wrap things up. Rate, comment, subscribe, join the revolution. We will be back soon. Bye-bye.